Hi everyone, this is Arwynn. I am new to Pink Monarch and I love it here. I love the craft community and it is my favorite place to be. This is my first YouTube video and I am so excited. Let's get into today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the cutest accordion folders. For this first one, I'm going to start by taking what this brown paper is. It is a 8.5 inch by 11 inch paper. And I think I have 4 of them, but you almost want to fold it in thirds, but you just want to make sure that the paper in the middle is overlapping so the tape has something to hold on to on both sides of the paper. And then you're going to add a piece of tape down. I used packing tape in this specific one. I almost would prefer to use washi tape because later on you'll see that maybe washi tape will hold the glue a bit better because the glue kind of had a hard time sticking. But I just followed that same process for the rest of my papers. And so you just fold them in almost thirds, just make sure the middle's overlapping, and then we'll just add tape down the center seam. And then I like to add a bit extra tape to just fold over the seam on the inside of the flap. Now we are going to fold all of these in half. I folded mine exactly in half, but I almost would have taken off 2 inches from one of the sides and then folded it in half because if you see later on, I had to add some extra length to the cover page, but we'll see that later on. Once you get all of your pages folded in half, we are going to start gluing. I kind of added the glue in these T's with the top of the T down at the bottom of where the seam is, and then you just glue them together. And then you glue all of them together exactly the same. You glue the openings together of the middle of the page, and then you glue the pages together with those glue T's also, as I'm showing here. And then you just glue them all the exact same. Just add your T of glue and then add your either fold over the paper or add your next page to the glue. My favorite thing about these monthly kits is that every single page and color combo looks so good together, which is the best because I made a couple of these accordion folders a couple weeks ago and I didn't even plan on having them all match, but they all just coordinate so well together, and I'm using the Moss and Meadow June kit. Once you have all of your little folders glued together, you're going to have this accordion looking thing, which is where accordion folder comes from. Now we are going to make the cute covers for our accordion folder. I recommend using a paper that is a bit bigger than your insert pages or folders. This way the folder cover will be big enough and you won't have to add extra paper. So to do this, I would just, if you're starting with 8.5 by 11 inch pages and you want to use a paper that's 8.5 by 11 inches, I would just cut down a few of your papers or fold them the opposite way so when you fold them up, they don't need the whole length of the paper. So what I did here is I just made 2 little folds about halfway down, if you can see here, to adjust for how wide the accordion folder is. And once you add stuff to it, it'll just bulk up a little bit. So you want to make sure you add that extra little bit of space instead of just folding the paper in half. I would say I gave myself about 1/4 inch of extra space at the bottom of this folder. Now we're just going to mark our cover down to size, and I would leave just a little bit of overhang on each side so you don't see the accordion part of it, just so you'll only see the cover. This yellow paper is going to act as my adjustment for not making the paper long enough, so I'm just adding that little bit of extra paper to cover all of the insert of the accordion folder. A lot of these decoration parts are obviously totally optional. I typically just don't love to see the blank white page, so I will go in and add another paper to cover up the white, or I love this distressing ink because it makes it just not stark white. I don't know what it is, but where I can add lace to a project, I'm going to add lace. I just love how cute and dainty it looks. So you can totally use string or like a sticker or a different type of closure, but I love to use lace. So I'm just adding lace little ties to keep everything nice and closed together. Once the accordion folder is all put together and like you fill it and everything, then these will just hold it all nice and neat. Whenever I am gluing in some type of ribbon or string, I like to add a little piece of scrap paper over the glue. It just makes me feel like it's a little more secured, and then I can press down the glue without it getting all over my fingers. Now we're going to glue the insert into the cover of the accordion folder, and I glue it down the same way that I glued down all the pages together, just with the little T of glue, but this time it's just on the outside of the insert. And optional, but you can add glue to the inside of the cover and then just glue them together, and I like to weigh it down. Now I am going to make the mini version, and I'm just going to be using book pages that I ripped out of this thrifted book. This is how I would recommend to do it, by starting with your papers and then making a cover accordingly. I think with the other one, the only reason why the cover wasn't adequate sizing was because the pages were the exact same size as the paper I was starting with. So you just need to start with the paper that's a little bit smaller than the cover if you're wanting to use the same size paper. I love decorating these folders, and now the best part is filling them with whatever you want. The bigger one I made is actually almost a perfect size to fit a standard photo. You just have to cut off a couple inches off of the top to make sure it fits, but you can fill these with anything, and I also think they'd make great gifts.